Radio 840 KXNT. Voices you know, news you trust.
5:09 at News Radio 840 KXNT. A good morning to you. Thank you so much for being with us on this Tuesday morning. Last Tuesday of April, by the way, the 27th of the month. And got a big morning ahead. We're going to be talking with the sheriff later on this morning. Sue Loudon joins us, and we'll be giving tickets away to see Conan O'Brien. But right now, I want to introduce to you the president of Kerr Trading International, contributor to MoneyWatch.com, Kevin Kerr. And I want to talk about the whole idea of what is going on with the price of gas. I mean, can we expect the price of oil and gas to go up or down? Mr. Kerr, good morning. Welcome to the show this morning.
Well, I think consumers are facing a tough summer. You know, after the economy still in recovery mode, we're still seeing gas prices creep up pretty steadily. And prices here where I am in the Northeast are quite high. We're over $3 a gallon. Many states that have higher gas taxes are already seeing over $3 a gallon. And this is just another woe for consumers who are already struggling to pay the bills.
So, yeah, I have noticed that prices are starting to inch up, and they're saying that the possibility of oil prices are going up as well. Can we expect oil to go up, which will affect everything else?
Well, absolutely. You know, we're seeing more and more demand out of China. Even though the economy has been very slow worldwide, we are still seeing more and more demand out of the emerging markets. And longer term, that's really going to impact all of us. You know, crude prices have been dipping the last couple of days, and that's mainly because of the stronger dollar. The dollar weakness has been a big part of these oil prices. So if we do see the dollar strengthen a bit against the euro, you may see those oil prices pull back, which could impact gasoline somewhat. But at the end of the day, we all use gasoline. That's really what we use. We don't use crude oil. So, you know, we're going to look this summer early on here. We usually get a spike in prices ahead of July 4th and through the summer driving season. It will really depend on demand, but demand has remained pretty consistent even through the economic crisis. And with gasoline prices around $3 even during this period of time, I think they can go much higher, unfortunately.
Could it be the fact that because there are more and more automobiles that are being produced that are either all electric or combination of electric and gas, that the gas companies will feel a pinch or at least a threat of some type of competition and might want to keep the prices down at some point? Or does that make sense, or does that work against it?
I mean, when we see that technology coming online, but it's really not any impact on the industry at all at this point. You know, what really drives the interest for the consumer into the hybrid vehicles or the electric vehicles is going to be high gas prices. And I think, unfortunately, at $3 a gallon, people are not motivated enough to go out en masse and buy these vehicles that are still quite expensive. So what it's going to take, unfortunately, is much higher prices. That's really the big motivator, as it always is. Pain is the big motivator.
You know, I'm hearing you say also there's the old cliche about the frog in the water, and you turn it up, you know, and it just sits there. It doesn't, you know, as opposed to putting it in hot water. And I guess we're the frog in the water, getting used to the slow increase of these prices. And if it was like $5 or $6 right now, people would be yelling and screaming. But, you know, it goes from $2.59 to $60, $69, and then, you know, creeps up. Pretty soon we are almost at $3 a gallon. And you're right. People are going, well, that's too bad. I don't like it. But people keep driving.
It becomes the new normal, you know, and we have to realize that Europeans have been paying, you know, $7, $8 a liter for years. You know, we've been pretty spoiled here with cheap gas prices, and that may not continue. In fact, I don't think it will. So we have to start getting used to and adjusting now ahead of time before those prices really spike up to $5 and $6 a gallon. And we go, wow, I wish we would have done something, you know, 10 years ago. We better do it now.
There are a lot of taxes that are put onto gasoline, and there are various states, including our own, by the way, here in Nevada, thinking about how they're going to pay for road construction down the line if fewer people are using gasoline because more people are using hybrids and electric-only cars. So they're thinking about trying to charge people on a per-mileage basis. If that happens, would you ever see the idea of reducing the taxes that we pay on a per-gallon basis? Because I'm not sure any tax really goes away.
No, I don't think it ever goes away. In fact, I think you'll see more of them. You know what I love is when you go to the pump and they actually break out the taxes on a little sticker that's on there to show you how much you're paying is tax. It's amazing. But here in Connecticut, where I live, you know, it varies by city. You can actually go down and find 30-cent differences in gasoline by city and town. They charge so much difference in taxes. It's just crazy. But we are paying a considerable amount per gallon. You know, it's really not the guy that owns the gas station's fault, so don't blame him. I mean, they make next to nothing on this. Their margins are extremely low. Most of it's taxes, and the rest of it is just cost because we need to be drilling here at home.
All right, so as the frog in the water, let me ask you, how bad can we see it perhaps coming in this summer, and what can we actually expect?
I think $4 a gallon is very possible in some key states, California, Illinois, here in the East Coast, some places that really have really high gas taxes. But that may be extreme. It's going to depend on demand. The consumers are already pinched. But like I say, prices have been creeping up. We're already over $3 a gallon in some places, and we're not even really into summer driving season yet. It'll depend a lot on the consumer.
If people, depend on the consumer, if we drive more, it'll cost less, or how is that going to work out?
Extra capacity they have in their bank accounts to pay for trips that they would normally take by car or by plane. All of this impacts the overall energy prices. So we'll just have to see if the consumer's going to stick close to home and camp out in their backyard or head out west or where they're going to go.
For a reason, this is KXNT's Morning Source with Alan Stock, exclusively on News Radio 840 KXNT. Voices you know, news you trust.